Hey, Mark.
Hey, guys.
Oh, sorry, my music's still on.
Go. I think I had mute on. Hi, Betsy. I was muted.
Ooh.
I say this with love because I love Dan Keiderling, but I'm 2 minutes late because he's on his way out of the office, followed me out, and he locked the door behind me. So I had to go to reception and get into my own office here today. That's what I get for taking a restroom break before the meeting. How's everybody doing?
Great.
Let me see. I'm glad you guys obviously are getting the group chat messages. I'm wondering, do you guys know of anybody who are like what group chat or have not gotten them?
I'm having Hannah send you a list of our agents, Mark, and so I don't know if they're all on them. So, but she'll be, not Hannah, Jessica, she'll be sending that to you this afternoon.
Okay, great. 30 Thursday.
And then as we get new people, she'll add them on as well.
Okay.
Well,
great.
we'll get them as soon as we get somebody. It'll send a message to you. That's what I'm trying to say.
Excellent. Wow, look at this turnout so far compared to the very first one. This is great, and I am commending our leaders, Steve and Eric and Betsy and everybody for Dominic for rounding up the troops. Thank you very much. Awesome. So welcome, guys. I wanna bring some value here. I'm gonna bookend this meeting with a couple things because we've got a lot of newbies on here, right? So I'm gonna keep it basic for the first couple of meetings, and starting with
Why are you so angry?
You guys know we do leaderboards every Monday on the cook call. We do shout outs and things we're grateful for on the huddles. So I don't want to be too redundant with that stuff. I really want to make the best use of our time to just team and make sure that first and foremost, that I'm serving you guys in ways that you desire to be served in my leadership. And second of all, making sure that, we as a team of leaders can help you budding leaders get what you need to get done so that you can achieve your goals, right? Goals are just so important. Everyone here is aware, and if you're not, then, here it is. You can reverse engineer your success here at Symmetry.
3 9s or 4 9s, Jim?
When you're just starting out, you may not see that as clearly as you can once you hit that, what we call critical mass. So yeah, thank you, Shelly. If you guys are not muted out, just mute out, but this is interactive. So feel free to chime in if you want to participate in the meeting. Everybody's sitting up so high. Are you guys just having high chairs? I'm going to adjust mine there. So I felt like it was just my head for you guys. So guys, I want you to know, if you're brand new, please, one of the most important things you can do, as elementary as it may seem, is keep an activity tracking report, right? They're right on HQ. Thank you. Yes, Shelly. They're right on HQ under resources, under training, product concepts, and what's the other thing? Mortgage protection. And you're going to see an activity tracker right there. So make sure you print that out. If you don't want to print that out, it's just dials, contacts, appointments, and apps written. These are the 4 most important metrics that you can keep track of. And it's not because I love, reading reports. It's because if you guys really want an accountability partner in kicking off your business, I'd love for you to share those with me at the end of your week so that we can go through them. At the very least, I want you to have them for yourself so that you can identify a couple things. And again, some of this might be elementary for those of you that have been here a while, but we've got a lot of new people that have onboarded recently. So I am gonna be keeping it pretty simple for this meeting today. that activity report, again, dials, contacts, appointments, apps written. Why is this so important? Because this is the meat of the business. You heard it yesterday on the call. Casey Watkins, one of our founders, straight up said it. I love that he said it. If you're like looking to learn everything before you get started, you're never going to start. And or you're going to start with one wheel on the road and three off. And it just rarely works out that way, right? Best way to enter this business is baptism by fire, because there are so many variables, so many drugs, so many impairments, so many situations, new things that each and every one of us, I've been here 5 years, I'm still running into new situations, and you will too. So again, don't try to learn it all first. Just come in as baptism by fire, I like to call it. Casey said it yesterday. It takes zero knowledge other than knowing how to read and dial a phone to get started in this business, right? Set as many appointments as you can, and then we can crash course you through your appointments. Each of us leaders are willing to be right there as your support through an appointment to make sure that you're helping the families appropriately. So again, back to these activity reports. Why are they important? Because we're tracking metrics here. If you've got dials, contacts, appointments, and apps, you can figure everything out about your business in terms of what can I improve upon? What can I work with Mark on, Betsy on, Steve on, Dominic on, Eric on, all of your leaders on? What can I work with them on in order to improve my metrics? So if we find that you've got a ton of dials, not that many contacts, well, we're going to need more inventory. I'm just saying it plain and simple. It can look like what it looks like, but meaning you may have to invest a little more in leads if you're not using your warm market, and so be it in the beginning. Every one of us can promise you the return is exponential so long as you're willing to be consistent in your business week after week. Second category, contacts. Maybe you've got a lot of contacts, but you're not setting that many appointments. Well, what does that tell us? Anybody want to answer that? You got a lot of contacts, but not that many appointments set. Anybody?
You're not probably following the script. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing.
So maybe, just having a hard time getting people to set appointments on the phone.
Yep, that's right. Very good. Shelly, Betsy, for the win. It just means that you need improvement on your script, right? Maybe you're going off script too much. Maybe you don't think you need the script, or maybe you thought of something that was way better than the script, and maybe it's not, right? So really stick to the basics in the beginning. Chris Cook taught me, imitate before you innovate, because I am an innovator, and maybe I innovated a little too early, a little too often, at my own peril, right? And it just causes you to round right back and realize that, wow, these are time-tested tools. These are tools based on real data. So use them to your advantage, and don't be scared to just read it word for word. Okay, Eric, hold on one second. Eric is looking for the link.
Hey, well, this is Steve. Hey, well, Mark works on that. When you talk about even phone scripts or even appointment scripts, you're not doing a major overhaul. I think Mark's getting to this, of the whole script. There's the reason why you're calling, kind of going through their information, and then booking the appointment time. There's a couple different areas in there. You're not changing all that. If like Mark and Betsy and Shelly just mentioned, if you're having trouble, if you're talking to people and you're having trouble, scheduling an appointment, maybe it's giving them the reason why, them finding the reason why they would need this coverage. So it's a tweak. It could be a sentence change or a couple words. It's not throw that piece of paper away and rewrite the whole thing. So I think when we talk about this, it's just very small incremental things. And when people have that information, they can help you attack that specific area
That's right. And again, if all else fails, read it word for word. And as advised, you know, within the metrics, if you do not have it, again, guys, please, this is you got to be proactive in this position. So don't wait for everything to be handed to you, but definitely listen up. And if there's something that you're missing, you got to let us know. If you do not have the dial metrics, saying, hey, if you buy this class of leads, this is how many appointments and apps that you can expect from it. Like, you know, on 50-cent leads, it's about 1 appointment out of every 10 to 12 contacts, right? So if you're buying 50-cent leads and you got a hold of 9 people and they said no, and you quit, you didn't even work the metrics, right? It's 1 out of every 10 to 12 contacts there equal an appointment. So best thing is to pay attention to the lead metrics. And the minute that you fall outside of that, for instance, on a 1A lead, you know, if you're not setting an appointment every 2 to 4 contacts, then call your upline, right? Call your direct and say, hey, you know, the metrics say an appointment out of every about 2 to 4 contacts. I've talked to 4 people. I don't have an appointment. You know, is there, you know, here's some of the objections I'm getting. Here's what I'm hearing. And then we're going to work with you. Okay. So the point is doing that massive action, constant correction. I like to say within no more than 5, but as early as 2 to 3 weeks in, you're going to have your metrics set, right? You're going to cure all that. And you're going to be able to use that metric sheet now to reverse engineer your success and say, you know what? I want to set 20 appointments this week. Great. We've got the lead metrics. You know exactly how much inventory you're going to need to invest in and how many dials you're going to have to make and how many contacts it's going to take to do that. So everybody understand that okay? And are there any questions regarding the activity report and how it can help you reverse engineer your goals here? No questions? Great.
So there was a question. Where can everybody find those metric sheets, Mark? How can we get those?
Oh, right. So thank you, Betsy. On HQ, I'm going to go there right now just to make sure.
Yeah, can we share and then
put
them in the chat maybe?
Share my screen here. So guys, I'm going to go to hq.quility.com. If you're licensed and onboarded, you've got access to this. And if you're not, just get through your licensing course, right? That's the big thing. Great. 1 second. We got an agent still in an appointment. Gonna answer. Diagnosed for age 50.
Is it raining there, Bets?
Not yet, but it's about to.
It is pouring cats and dogs here, sister.
How far are you guys away from each other?
Maybe 30 minutes.
Nice. All right. So look, I'm going in here. I'm going under training. I'm going under product concepts. I'm almost positive this is where it's at. Yeah. And under product concepts, it's going to land right on mortgage protection. And down here, you're going to see agent activity report. I'm opening that, and here it is. Dials, contacts, appointments booked. And look at this. They got the lead metrics written right on the side. So if you're investing in, you know, whatever class lead here, you know, hey, if I'm ordering A3s, 1 appointment for every 6 or 7 contacts is what you're going to average out, right? And then they have a great thing here where you can just, you know, the clients that you are sitting with, did they no-show? Did they reschedule? How many apps did you get? What was the APV? And then make some notes there. You guys are business owners now. If you didn't know that, I'm letting you know. You guys are business owners now. And this is a business owner's tool. If you're not measuring your business, you don't have a business. So take advantage of the tools on the site. Something that you feel you need that you're not getting, please let us know. If there's something you see that you don't understand how to best use it, please let us know. But I do ask everybody to just take some time each day until you're familiar with it to go through the Quility website and look at the abundance of tools and resources that we do have to aid you in your business. And that comes with a caveat. Do not get lost in hiding behind, research and studying and resources and tools, because it's very easy to go down a rabbit hole if you're just focused on the site and all these neat little tools, and then you don't put it to practice. When Steve and I started here 5 years ago, we had a printer and we had a phone. That was it. We had none of this stuff. I remember us saying, I wish we had XYZ, and now we have it all and then some. But it's as simple as a stack of leads and a phone to dial, and you can build a multi-million-dollar business here in a couple of years if you work it right. So once you guys to just understand that, I'd love you to go through the site so you understand where some things are, but don't get lost in it. Don't let it get in the way of your schedule, which is my next point. We talked about it a little bit last week, but please schedule everything. I love that Elijah Carujo says, he'll schedule his time off first, and he'll put his time off in his calendar. That's his time off. Now he'll build a schedule around that. If you're saying I'm dialing from 9 a.m. to noon, and cousin Sally calls and says, hey, I need help with the yard, it's going to be real tempting to say, oh man, she needs my help, I better get off this phone, right? Joe Martinez says it. Even the dishes look good after doing the dishes when you start dialing. Like anything and everything that you can do to get out of it looks great. Don't let that be a temptation. This is the foundation of your business. Who is it? Ryan Miller says it best. I mean, he gets the phone, rich, poor, rich, poor, rich, poor, right? That's all that really is the difference. You're not achieving anything if you're not focusing on those income producing activities each and every day to the level which you want to grow. So one thing I'd like each of you to do, please, you can call me. If you don't have my number, I'm going to put it in the chat. Let me stop sharing. I'll never stop sharing, but I'm going to share my screen. All right, 260 Mark. One thing I'd like everybody to do, if you want the help, for what it's worth, guys, I have hired a coach within Symmetry who will be coaching me on coaching you guys. I'm growing as a leader. You guys are growing as leaders. I want to be the best leader I can for you. Okay, so I'm reading off my notes from my session this morning. One thing I'd love for you guys to do, if you would, send me an email or even shoot me a text and we can go over it. I prefer email, so I have time to find it pretty easily there. But I'd like you to let me know what your goals are through the end of this year. What do you want to achieve by year's end? We're in the fourth quarter. We got 2 more months left. We got 3 more months till conference. I'd love to know, better yet, let me scratch that. Let me know what you'd like to accomplish before conference, okay? Let me know, please, what are your goals before conference? It might be, I want to become a $10,000 a week producer on a regular basis. It might be, I want to have at least, 6 people on my team because I'm going for agency owner. Or, hey, I want to do these slingshot goals. I want to make 5,000, 10,000, 12,000, or 75, 12,500 so I can slingshot through my first 3 promotions, right? Whatever that may be. Betsy, I have a feeling your goal is key leader.
100%. It is key leader. I've got to make it. I almost had it. And then I feel like looking back, I feel like I sabotaged myself, but I'm not going to let that happen again. And I'm going to stay focused and I'm going to key leader by the end of the year.
Well, I wasn't being critical. I say that with love and
no, you never have been anything but supportive, Mark. That was me just saying I didn't follow through, and so now I'm ready to make it happen by the end of the year, 100%.
I know you are, and you'll probably qualify for AO month 1 on your second month key leader.
So.
So, do you want our responses now or what?
No, I'd like you to email them to me.
Okay.
But then on our next call, we can go over some of these so that we can, you know, because I'm guessing that some of these are going to align and we're going to be able to talk, say, 4 people's goals with one point. But that way I can work with you guys on achieving what you want to achieve. I'd like to know, on top of it, this is very important to include in your goals. What are your pain points right now? You know, all of us have some kind of pain point, right? I'll admit, I've got a pain point. I'm going for a 110 promotion, and I've got a really strong leg of business in here. And I'm looking to match that with a few other strong legs, you know, a few leaders that really want to grow as agency owners, agency directors up. I want to help some people grow their leadership. So pain points, please. Where are you stuck? It might be, hey, I'm getting no-showed like there's no tomorrow. Or it might be, hey, I want to go for agency owner by June. Okay, whatever the case, I'm gonna help you get there. And then, if anything,
could I put in there, if you're on, could you also like send it to whoever you're direct to, so that we know as well?
Betsy, great point. Please copy your direct when you send this to me. Please copy your direct. So that we can work together, you know, say, since Betsy brought it up, so that, for instance, Betsy and I can discuss on, you know, comparing notes and making sure that we got the best solution for you, right? So please and thank you. And then, if anything, you know, what this is right alongside with pain points, but on a daily basis, what you feel may be causing those pain points, right? See if you can maybe identify that ahead of time. I wanted to let you guys know I'm going to be coming up with a contest here soon, but you can take advantage of this beforehand just the same. Don't just wait for the contest, but you're more than welcome to. So Symmetry has, and if I may, I just want to thank Shelly for taking the initiative, because I'm going to look at this here. I'm going to share my screen. I think this is pretty phenomenal. If you're brand new, this is something to look forward to. What is it? Is it Ignite or Accelerate is the first thing? Do you remember, Shelly? Let me see. Ignite.
I think it's Ignite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Ignite is Activate. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to share my screen here real quick with you guys. This is important for everybody. Please pay attention if you really want to exponentially increase success. Maybe you want access to something just more than you're getting out of huddles and the Newbauer Weekly and the Cook Agency group meeting. If you want something a little more personalized, Symmetry announced it on the call a couple of weeks ago, but it was kind of a little blip. And again, thanks to Shelly, we have some information on a coaching program that Symmetry has started. And the barrier to entry here is you must have at least 6 apps under your belt. Now, if you're new, we want to go for SNA. Can anybody new, anybody that's within your first 30 days here, tell me what SNA is? Anybody?
Seasoned new agent.
I can, but I'm over 30 days.
I knew you knew it. And what's the seasoned new agent, Jeremy? Do you know?
I believe it's running on a minimum of 3 apps.
Close. So 3 apps is so that you can qualify to get SBLI, which is our new carrier. Super excited about that. And SNA is somebody that gets 6 apps within their first 6 weeks of getting their opt credentials. So Jeremy, you're a third of the way there already, right? You already wrote your first 2 apps last week. So, and you still have a good couple weeks to go. So SNA, guys, is 6 apps in your first 6 weeks here at Symmetry. You become what's called a seasoned new agent. Now, you do not have to be an SNA to qualify for the coaching program, but your best foot forward as a brand new agent is to consult with your upline and devise a plan to go for SNA. How can I do my first 6 apps within 6 weeks? Let's work around your schedule and make it happen, right? Any questions about SNA? All right. So this coaching program, guys, you can see my screen, right? So yes. The coaching program, this is a 10-week program for either candidate. Now, for the key leaders on our team, they have a key leader program that I'll talk to you about individually. But I want the newer agents to understand that once you have 6 apps under your belt, don't confuse that with SNA. I just wanted to bring it up because SNA is 6 apps in your first 6 weeks. But I don't care if you've been here for 2 years and you just wrote 5 apps, great, write that 6th one and you qualify for this. So 6 apps in is the barrier to entry, and you are eligible to take place in a personalized coaching session, which I believe is once a week for, yeah, it's a 10-week program. Mm-hmm. They're going to meet you once a week, and it's an incredible curriculum. So this is, you know, personalized coaching for you and your business, straight from Symmetry. So we're talking top of the top. They know exactly what needs to be done. They have the data. They know what it takes. So they're going to take you through everything from week 1. You're just looking at prepping yourself with vision and mindset, daily rituals, vision, self-talk. Week 2, activity tracking. We just talked about it, right? Accountability, associations. This is how, for those of you that have never run a business before and you're like, whoa, I want to help families, but I'm not sure how to run a business. Great. This could be for you. Week 3, accountability. Week 4, now they're getting more into phone skills, game film, accountability, really showing up for you and your business and your team. Week 5, advanced sales skills, communication, right? Week 6, more communication, client retention, prospecting and recruiting. Week 7, recruiting mindset, strategic partnerships, and it just goes on and on and on to week 10, effective follow-up, growing your network, time management skills. I know as an entrepreneur, most of us, this is probably the #1 cause of, you know, outside of excuses and ego and getting in your own way, time management, and sometimes that's tied to those things, is often the biggest enemy, right? It's about resistance, and your mind is not comfortable when you begin a new venture, and your mind is going to protect you from this new venture by saying, let's go do the dishes, let's go pick up the kids, let's go help cousin Sally, right? No, it's about no brain. We're going to grow. We're going to lift weights today. It's going to hurt. And then it's not going to hurt because we do it enough times, right? That's the key. Repetition and consistency. So if you would like to take part in this, please consult with your upline. Let us know, and we'll talk to you about how to get there. And if you're not 6 apps in yet, get there and talk to us about how to do that if you need some help. Most of the time, it's just curing the calendar and the activity. You do enough dials and you're going to meet enough people. So I want everybody to be aware this is available now. It's out there, and I'm going to be hosting a contest soon for our team, in which I will sponsor a number of scholarships to this personalized coaching program for those that want to partake. Are there any questions about the coaching program or anything we've talked about so far? Does anybody, before I get into the last, we're going to keep it short today. Does anybody have any questions? Or I'm sorry, does anybody want to bring out a suggestion as to how you feel the team could be best served in our weekly meeting? And I know we've got a lot of meetings. I want everyone to know the unique purpose of this is some of the leaders came to me. Some of our performing agents have come to me and said, look, we love all the other meetings, but we want some more personalized, you know, Newbauer Agency congregation. And I love this. I love seeing everybody's faces. Now you guys know, I mean, look at this. And this, I mean, this was a little late notice today on the meeting, but we've got a really great turnout, and this isn't even half of our team, guys. We've got an amazing pool of people that are working together to help each other grow. And the more you plug in, the faster you're going to catch on. So guys, real quick, is there something that you think we could add to these meetings on a weekly basis that would truly serve the collective? Let me know. phone and sit role playing. Okay, Eric, very good. Let's do that. I'm going to do, let's make once a month. I'm going to focus on actual skills, right? So maybe we'll do a week on critical period where we just focus on the critical period process and how to set that up. Maybe we get out the phone scripts and, you know, I'll read the phone script. You guys hit me with objections and we can start learning how to face objections. And then of course, the in the home, we're going to keep it very, very basic. Once you have your in the home down, everybody kind of has their own style. I know some agents like to use the whole PowerPoint page by page. I know some that just like to use select pages. So we'll be careful about how we present that, because again, we don't want anybody just over innovating, and we'll stick to the basics there.
So
anybody else?
So when you get on virtual and you're wanting to show people, like Brian Howe brought up the page and it showed his name, and Steve, you did it too when you showed your agent number, and then you showed the kind of script thing. That would be helpful to know how to do that to interact with the client.
Mark, could we do one talking about kind of how to refer people to DFL and kind of what that looks like? Maybe once a month, just do a refresher on that.
Absolutely. In fact, Betsy, about once a month, once every 6 weeks, I intend on having one of the other leaders host the call, and you get to choose the topic and what we want to talk about. We can bring value to each other. Because you guys are growing. I mean, Steve has hired, I don't know how many people in the last month, quite a few.
Oh, Steve.
Eric just brought in one license contract this morning, 2 in licensing this week. Betsy, again, I don't have your numbers in front of me, but wow, they just keep coming in, and now your recruits are recruiting, and that's when you really start to hit some critical mass. So
yep, love it.
You guys are doing a wonderful job. Dominic and Holly, I mean, power couple. While Dominic's out in the field working that, Holly's working full-time as a teacher, and every evening she's doing at least one interview for their business, and they brought in some really, really great people. I don't know if Renette's on this call, but I had the pleasure of meeting Renette Upton last week, and she is a new agent on their team, and she's a real gem. So really, really great people. And I can't say enough about Jeremy DiGiovanni and the leap of faith he took in, you know, he was working for somebody else, being paid very well, has his license, and took a leap of faith and came over to national conference last month, still October, last month, and thankfully was duly impressed with what he saw, to the point where he brought in his friend Jeff English, who's in an appointment as we speak, which is why he's muted at the moment. And James, his father, all 3 of them are licensed, and I love bragging on that because again, it's borrowing faith, right? Jeremy wasn't positive what he was getting into when he talked to James, and when I talked to Jim, James's father, you know, he just knew that Jeremy and Jeff liked what they saw, so he was on board, right? And that's how me and Steve started. We didn't know anything about this, and Steve wasn't present for my interview. I just filled him in, and I probably wasn't even very good at doing that. He just said, hey, if you like it, I like it, right? So can't say enough for the new people. There is nothing like having a wingman or wingwoman. I said it on the huddle today. There is no comparison to just having somebody who you feel would be a great fit for Symmetry and vice versa, to be by your side, whether they live in your hometown or not. Someone you can bounce this stuff off on can expedite your business in a big way. So thank you. Great suggestion, Shelley. Guys, last thing I'm going to bring up, again, we're a team. So if somebody says like, whoa, I wanted to hear this today, or I got a question, I'm going to leave the floor open for about 5 minutes here. And if it's crickets, then I'm going to go right into my next point. Hi, Cheryl. I love that you come over to our house here every time.
Thank you.
Cheryl's the bomb. She's an honorary member of our team.
Yes, she is. Anytime, every time. I love it, Cheryl.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for being a part of it.
You're welcome.
Anybody have any input, questions, comments?
Hey, for Betsy, turn your start here.
Sure.
Betsy, when we were on the call with Joe Martinez, if you want to tell people that link for the DFL to put on the back of their slide if they want, I thought that was really helpful when I saw that. So if people weren't on that other call, if you can kind of touch on that.
Yes. So we have got, and actually if you'll talk with whoever you're direct to and have them, as long as they're, good with it, let me show you what we have that's available for anybody.
I'm good, Betsy. Go for it. Share it.
Is that good? Okay, I'll go ahead and just send everybody the link here, and I'll share it with you. So we have a, sorry, let me get it open here. I can't do two things at one time, apparently. But yeah, so we've got a Google Drive right here. And so these are for anyone within the Cook Agency to use. Oh, Mark, would you let me share?
No. All right.
And guys, I know we say it's the Cook DFL, but come on, we are in the Newbauer Agency. So let's lead the charge here. Come on. Even more so than anyone else. So here, I'm just going to put the link for this in the chat. And then everybody can have access to this. And so these have different kinds of informational graphics on it, and GIFs that you can use on social media, and then also a slide that you can put in your presentations to use. And so at the end of your presentation, you can go, here it is. You can remember to ask these 3 questions, okay? And remember too, if you're on the phone and you can't, and you're not booking an appointment, or they just say no to everything, keep these in your back pocket. Let these be kind of your last resort so that you can get as much from the lead as possible. Ask this question and ask these 3 questions, and then get them, book them an appointment with me. And so here you go, cookdfl.com, 3 questions. Do you feel like debt is preventing you from contributing to your retirement? Would your retirement be more comfortable if your mortgage and all your debts were paid off? If you had no debt, could you retire sooner? So you can just take this slide. That's why I put it on a Google Drive so anyone could have access to it easily. Put it into your, into the presentation that you use, and ask it to everybody and anybody. All right. We are ready to help people. I've been working a lot on my schedule, talking with my husband, arranging our family time so that I can be available more in the evenings, because I know a lot of you guys are in the West Coast. And so just want to be available for Debt-Free Life. So not every single night I'll be available on the West Coast, but really trying to open that up more. Saturdays, keeping some time available. At this point, I don't work Sundays just because my husband's a pastor. We usually are quite busy on Sundays. But if you are like, hey, there's no time, or I can't find an appointment, just shoot me a message, and we'll figure out something. If somebody wants help with DFL, we're going to find a way to get them help with DFL. Right. So just showing you these real quick, I've got some DFL testimonials. So here, just a ton of these. You can download them and just share them on your social media. All right. So they're, yeah, sorry. When it's about to rain, then it's going to, my computer's going to be real slow. But yeah, so just some different graphics like this, where it just kind of shares, hey, debt eliminated, the interest saved. So just kind of a testimonial of what we've done. And so just different kinds of, states all over the country, so that it's not just, one particular place. So we have testimonials, and then we also have informational graphics. And so this is just kind of to maybe catch people's attention and see, oh yeah, I do have this concern. I am interested in Debt-Free Life. So you can use either or any of those. And so I will say with this, so here, great retirement, or do you have some doubts? So a lot of them are like the same question and then just different pictures. and then we'll come to the new ones. So if you just put this on social media, here's just a little tip here. If you just put it on social media, you'll see it's got my website to where they can go and book an appointment. And that's great. But the whole point of you sharing it on social media is so that you can, get credit for it, right? So what I want you to do here, I'm getting some feedback. So if what you'll do is when you make a post about this, you can go and look and see, Joe made a post about it. Just say, hey, if you've got a question, send me a message. All right. So I want you to be the one to get that person's information, connect with them. If it's your friend, your family, I want to share that app with you. Like that's the whole point here, right? It's for all of us to win. Because remember, we win because the client gets a debt-free life, you get passive income. And then of course, it's increasing our team's numbers as well. So, but yeah, so if you go to cookdfl.com, so you're going to have the 3 questions here as well. Now, let's say someone's not quite ready to book an appointment. Of course, that's going to be ideal. All right, is if they can go ahead and book an appointment. But if they're not quite ready, you can also just send a referral. So give me their name, phone number, your name and phone number, your email, and which agency that you're with. Okay. And I realize I'm going to take out the producer and opt information. If they get an appointment with me, then you'll get a follow-up form asking for that so that when I write the app, I know how to share that app with you. Then I ask for which agency it is because your leader will get a notification that you've submitted a lead here. Okay. Anyway, so didn't mean to hijack that. Sorry, Mark. But just wanted to show you guys, here it is. But yeah, so let's get out there and kill it with DFL, y'all.
Guys, these are, again, most of our job, frankly, I mean, at least in the beginning, and then you can improve from there, is just reading. I mean, it's just reading. The script for setting appointments, the script for in the home, and now Betsy gave you 3 questions that you can ask. Guys, don't take that for granted, right? Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. What Betsy is saying is whether you help a family with mortgage protection, final expense, or not, once you help them, or once it's been decided that you're not helping them, you ask these 3 questions. And
I mean, if they won't do all 3, just ask 1. They're going to say yes.
Right. Yes has you saying, I've got an expert on our team that can really help people with this. It's not my expertise, but wow, she's amazing. Why don't we set a meeting for this, or send them to Cook DFL and let them review it and sign up? Okay. It's easy peasy, and you get a generous commission split for doing nothing but asking that 1 question in every single home. It's one more line to your presentation, whether you've helped them or not. So I want to give a shout out real quick though. I love. We've got some Mohammed. How you doing, buddy? I can't hear you, but I can see you, and I love your smile.
We couldn't hear him yesterday. We were having a work session, and we couldn't hear him either.
Well, I didn't mean to put him on the spot. What I really want to do, Mohammed, is just Mohammed Ba, Josh Lee, Matt Grimmer, James English, and Jaquana Brofton. I hope I said that right, Jaquana. Congrats, by the way. Jaquana is a licensed agent on the Eric Rush team. Just got her contracting done today, and I'm sure she'll have her credentials soon. So, and Carrie Johnson. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the team. Can't wait to be working with you.
Thank you.
Super great to see you guys on here. No, my absolute pleasure. I thank you guys for taking the time.
And Rob Robinson.
And Rob Robinson. Thank you. There he is. Mm-hmm. Rob Robinson, welcome to the team, man. Super excited to have you guys be a part of it. I can't wait till all of you guys in the 2nd and 3rd row here getting your cameras fixed. Must have an electrical outage there in this last row. I say that with love, though, tongue in cheek, but please, guys, I encourage next time you get on, come on full force. Come with your mics on if there's no distractions, your camera's on, more importantly. Let's see each other. Let's get to know each other because we're going to run into each other quite a bit. And I promise you, the real secret to this business is plugging in and associating with the great leadership we have here. You're going to learn a lot more from the collective than you are from just me or your upline. Rob is driving. Excellent. Don't text and drive, Rob. What are you doing? Welcome. So guys, here's my last thing real quick. You're going to hear a lot of it. And guys, I'm going to be a part of it. Please, for the love of God, get registered for national conference. It's going to sell out. They will provide overflow, but you're going to be in some side room with the big screen TV, and you're not going to get out of it what you could if you just sign up today for national conference. Again, everything I say is with love and with truth. You're not going to be here very long if you don't go to national conference. There's just too much to learn and soak up there that if you miss it, you're going to be behind the 8 ball. Now, granted, there are some crazy, good reasons to miss. I mean, I've had people that were, maybe you're going into labor, the night before conference. Okay, you might not be making it to conference, or God forbid, at our last conference, we had a couple people that were truly down with COVID, so you can't make it. But please get your excuse vacuum out. Make sure that all those cobwebs are clear, and there's no ego, there's no excuses, and there's no false pretenses preventing you from making the jump. I want you guys to know Symmetry bends over backwards to make this easy for us. So you can go on and get a ticket. I put the link in the chat. So please, right there in the chat, while we're talking, guys, type your email address in there if you want Betsy to share that stuff with you, by the way, please. And Betsy, if you don't mind, just.
Oh, I will. I will, but also the link that I shared, you can click on that and open everything.
And never mind, you got the share link. Scratch that. Now back to conference. Focus on the conference link. So I posted it there. One thing I want to make sure you guys are making use of, if you're not in band, or if you're like, what's he talking about? What's band? Please talk to whoever recruited you and get in there. That's where we all associate each and every day throughout the day. It's how you get to know what's going on and who's making what and how we can impact each other. Number one, I say that because at the top of band, hey buddy, at the top of band is a permalink for conference. So if you're not getting it right here, then you can get it there at any time. Also, if you're a Facebook user or you're not completely resistant to using Facebook, please friend your upline. Make friends with me and or Betsy, Steve, Eric, Dominic, Shelley, you name it, please. And we will invite you to the Facebook group for Symmetry agents. It is an enormous resource for agents. And you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about once you're on there. If you're not on there and you're on Facebook, please let me know, let your upline know, say, hey, I want in that Facebook group and we'll invite you. Okay, it's a private group, so we got to invite you. Yes, Shelley, it's $189 for the conference. And what they have done is they'll break it up into payments. So I believe they break it up into thirds, right? So I'm going to share my screen real quick. I got to show you guys how easy this is, and then I'm going to let you go. But when I let you go, if you're not registered for conference, I want you to go here before getting up and going to the bathroom or take it up with your day here. Okay? So we're going to go here, Safari, band. So here it is in band. I'm clicking on this link. Here's how easy it is, guys. And if you're an owner, guys, get these owners packs. If you, and guys, as you bring on new agents, please talk to your upline. I've got a couple owners packs, so I'll be happy to sell you a ticket at discount if you want to come to me directly. But here we go. Single ticket, very simple. I'm going to register now. It's going to take me to this page. And here it is. You simply register, you go to the next page, and they're going to break it up. They're going to give you an option to break it up into payments, okay? So you don't have to pay the full 189 right now. You just have to pay, I think it's like
63.
Thank you. In the third, Cheryl. So
$63. Sorry, my dog.
That's okay. Thank you so much for that. And then they also have right here, lodging and activities. Please go to this thing next because you got to stay somewhere. The Hyatt Regency Denver right here is the closest hotel. Now you could stay anywhere you want. I know some people are getting an Airbnb off site. And that's cool. You could stay wherever you want. My first conference, Steve will remember, we packed 5 or 6 guys into a van. We had no money. Don't let money stop you from this. We had no money. We drove 12 hours to North Carolina from Indiana, and we shambawed for who got the bed, and everybody else slept on the floor in a motel off-site, okay? So we did what we had to do to get to conference. If you're in as bad a shape as we were when we started, don't let it be an excuse. Get there. Hopefully you're not, and if so, stay at one of the hotels they're recommending because you're going to be close. Hyatt Regency is where I'm staying. I know, Betsy, you got your room here. Steve's got his room here. This is where the big dogs are staying and everybody in between because it's right next to the convention center, okay? Great news. I have not been charged for my room yet. It says 1 night deposit required, but I did not get charged and no one I know has gotten charged for their room yet. So go make that reservation because these are going to fill up. This is going to fill up. This is going to fill up. And whether you like it or not, you will be staying, a half hour away from convention center. And if you're cool with that, you're cool with that. The most important thing is getting registered so that you're not sitting in the side room when conference comes because there's only 5,000 seats and it will sell out guaranteed. So enough about that. I really, really want you guys, if you're serious about your business, don't tell me you're serious about it and then not be registered for conference. If you have an issue, if you've got a real roadblock, talk to your upline. They'll talk to me. If I'm your upline, we'll talk and we'll get it sorted out. But I need to know if there is an issue. And if there's not, there's no reason why you shouldn't get registered right now. Please and thank you. Now, when they ask who referred you, thank you, Steve. Yes, we'll have roommates all day long. There will be other people looking for roommates. So if you want to coordinate with some people, we can help you do that. Just ask us for the lodging. Oh shoot, what was I going to say? Do you remember? Did I say anything of relevance? What did I start out with?
I can't read your mind, honey. Sorry. I wish I could.
Just let me talk through it. I've got an appointment with a client in 6 minutes. So real quick.
Okay.
Going to conference. You're getting your hotel. It's going to sell out.
Would it be flights and dates that you need, like when to arrive, when to leave?
Well, it is the 2nd through the 4th. I wasn't going to mention that, but you do need travel. You can drive if you're close enough, or book your flights early, right? There are some great prices on flights right now for most cities.
My flight.
And I guess I'll think of it. But guys, please go and get registered. If you're serious about the business, you got to get to conference. And put it in the group chat, please. You see we have that group chat? Chime in. Say, hey, Mark, I got my ticket. Hey, Betsy, I got my ticket. Whatever the case may be. Let us know, guys, because there's, the fire gets brighter as each coal gets close to each other and associates, right? We want a big old bonfire here with this group because, right, we are only as strong as our weak link. And we don't need any weak links. There's no reason to be a weak link. You guys came on board to start a business. We're going to help you do that. We're going to help you grow. If you've never done that before, even more fun. You probably don't have all these old tricks you need to get over. So I want to thank you guys so much for being a part of the.
It smells like, I don't know, like.
You got questions?
Is there a candle? Oh, it kind of smells like when Nana makes applesauce.
Uh-oh.
Angie's got her dog.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you so much, Mark, for hosting these roundups. I really am looking forward to just like a variety of information. So crazy. Right on.
Absolutely. My pleasure, Cheryl. We're super thrilled to have you on.
Thank you.
You can, again, yes, you can break those up into payments. You can room with somebody. And if you got any issues outside of that, you just let us know. But I want to, that's what I was going to say. Thank you. So you're going to have to put who, and please do this because it helps me track it better. You can skip over it just the same. Cheryl, you're the only exception, but everybody else, when it asks who invited you or who, you know, who your upline is, I forget what the question is. Do you remember, Cheryl? I'm going to click on the question.
Yeah, I put Cheryl on Elizabeth's and I still haven't seen her registration. So I'm getting kind of worried.
I'm going to show, yeah, right. Here we go.
Yeah.
Real quick. So guys, right here, it's going to ask you, person who referred you to this event. So I'd like you to please type in Mark B.
Yeah.
Newbauer, and there it is. You got to do the middle initial, and then just click on that. That's going to help us tally who. That way we know who got registered and who didn't. I don't think. Well, or I want to make sure.
Yeah, you can put Betsy if you're on my team.
Okay, good. Now it used to be only agency owners. Now you can literally put, as long as they're a quality agent. So Eric, you got to be in here, right? Eric Rush. Scratch it. Whoever your upline is, please type their name in here. If you don't see them, call them first before you go, because this is how Symmetry tracks who's on whose team and who's coming. This is very important, guys. So under the agent thing there, you're going to type Steve Devine, Mark Newbauer, Betsy Barr, Eric Rush, Shelly Jackson, whoever your upline is, please, please, please. Thank you. And guys, that's all I got. Love you very much. If you have any issues, you have my number and email, and thank you. And I'll see you next week.
Thanks, Mark.
Bye.
Go, buddy. Woo woo.
Thank you.
Bye.
Hi.
Hi.